Hey guys, Sandy here. Welcome back to my channel. Today is May 1st, and that means we have 10 sketches left, you guys, for 100 sketchy videos. And for these 10 sketches, they are going to be ones that I have done. So I have hand-drawn the sketches. And that's just the way they're going to be. So I have this sketch that has a diagonal design. It could be one or two photos, a banner, and some embellishment. And that's what those stars are. They don't have to be stars. It just means embellishment. So I've pulled out a couple papers. So I pulled out this one and then this green chatterbox paper. I'm going to cheat, and since this is a diagonal design, I got a diagonal paper. And then I went ahead and pulled some products from my Scrapbook and Cards Today kit, which are these 6x6 papers, these cut aparts, a frame, and then these puffy stickers. And I'm going to be scrapbooking the photo when I hit 27,000 miles on my car. And as you can see, I was going 0 miles an hour, so I stopped so I could take the picture. I also decided to pull these green flowers in because they looked really good with this green paper. And then I pulled purple flowers in as well. Sorry, my head just hit the camera because there's some purple bits in here. So let's see what I can do. All right, guys, so since this is a diagonal design, I decided to go ahead and use a diagonal sheet of paper. Now, I know I just did that recently as well, but you know what? Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. Now, I'm not going to kind of fancify this paper. I'm not going to add any washi tape like I did on a recent layout. I'm just going to take this solid color of pattern paper and place it up at the top, and it is a coordinating color with all of the colors that are down here down below. Now, this 6x6 piece of paper had the dreaded butterflies on the back of it, but it does have this green on green tone that I decided I was going to mat my photograph on. Now, I felt like I needed a little bit of something, so I decided to mat my photograph on white first, and then I'm going to go ahead and place it down here on that green. Now, you're not even going to be able to see the pattern of the green, so you most likely wouldn't have been able to see the butterflies either, but you know, I kind of have a thing against them. Now, here's the thing. When I was in Walt Disney World recently, I went through the butterfly garden during the Flower and Garden Festival at Epcot, so I have pictures of butterflies. So you guys, that is a total appropriate moment to use butterflies on the page. So if I have any butterflies left, we'll be using those. Now, instead of doing a second photo, I'm going to use this 3x4 cut apart sheet that says Good Days Ahead, and I'm going to mat that on that multicolored polka dot paper. Now, this frame says Beautiful Day, and I decided to trim down that purple card and place it underneath of it, just because everybody needs more purple in their scrapbooking. Or at least I think I need more purple in my scrapbooking. So I am going to go ahead and place these bad boys down. And then I'm like, oh, yeah, I needed to do a banner down there, didn't I? So I am going to tap the paper because, you know, that actually helps. Touching your supplies and tapping the supplies helps you think. At least it helps me think. So I'm going for a sheet of plain old cardstock, and I'm doing my tried and true banner method of finding the center line, marking a line, and then cutting into it. For some reason, I cannot fold it and cut it to save my soul. It just doesn't work for me, even though I have seen everyone do this, including people that are not even online. Just amazing to me. I just don't have that basic skill, which is kind of weird, but that is okay. Now, this other 6x6 paper right here, it's beautiful, and it's this really dark pattern on one side, and then it has kind of these half circles with half starbursts on them. I'm not exactly sure what this is supposed to be, and I'm not exactly sure which collection this came from either. So this is one of the SCT sampler packs. So I decided that I was going to cut these guys out and then kind of treat them like banners. So I cut down the center, and then I'm going to trim around the circles. And I'm going to place that on the bottom of this kind of fishtail banner just to give it a little bit of extra pizzazz because it's not a patterned piece of paper. I've got a lot of paper on this layout that reads as a cardstock. Even though that green pattern paper has kind of a crosshatch pattern on it, it reads as a solid. It just really does. So adding these little bits of pizzazz kind of, makes it a little bit more exciting than just having plain old paper. Now, one thing I could have done as well was run my purple banner through my paper crimper. I feel like I haven't run anything through a paper crimper in a good long while, so I should probably pull that bad boy out and see what I can do with it. So now that I'm going to get these little half circles in here, and I don't put the circles underneath of the frame that you can't even see. I mean, I'm not conserving paper or anything like that. It's just, I just didn't do it. So I decided that I was going to put these little puffy stickers that came in that sampler kit here, but I do pull them up and decide to place them elsewhere. I feel like I kind of have this awkward gap right here that something needs to go there, but putting the little banners underneath of that photo just makes it even more awkward. So I'm avoiding that altogether and switching that out. So the colors coordinate really well, so they must be from the same collection. Whatever the new Paige Evans collection is. Why am I struggling with that? Wonders, I think it is. So now I am thinking about where I want to add any of these guys right here. They're just some labels. And I decide that I'm just going to put it off to the side because I'm not feeling it. Now, I'm kind of looking at this and I'm like, wow, I've got a lot of plainness going on, and my sketch really isn't calling for anything else. It was just the photos, a banner, and a little bit of embellishment in the corner. And that might have been good enough had I not had so much solid color going on here. So I went ahead to my paper flowers and decided, you know what, I'm just going to paper flower this bad boy up. I have green flowers that really match my paper well. I have purple flowers that match it pretty well as too. So I just, before I even try to figure out where things are going to go, I grab my Nuvo Deluxe adhesive and I just put the stuff down, you guys. I'm just going for it. I'm not going to line up my flowers ahead of time. I'm not going to figure out where everything should go just perfectly. I'm just going for it. And then I'm going to follow the line here on the diagonal. And I am not just going to do the flowers in a perfectly straight line. Some of the flowers will come up off the line, and then some of them will fall underneath as well. But for the most part, this is just covering up the join between the two papers. So I've got that going on, and then I decide that I'm going to mix kind of the colors together. I'm going to mix the greens and the purples together, so you don't really have to have any weirdness. I didn't want to just have the green on the green and the purple on the purple. I felt that would be weird, right? Don't you think that would be weird? So I'm going to just pull out the flowers that I like, pop them down with the glue, and then eventually some centers are going to go in those flowers as well. Just because while I am not as adamant about naked flower centers as I am about naked tag holes, it just felt wrong. On this particular layout, I felt like I needed to have that extra bit. So I'm trying to make this look kind of random, even though you want them perfectly placed. So I decided to go with that. And then I thought, you know what, now I've got so much going on down here in the bottom half of this page, I need to balance it out and put some stuff up on the top as well. And that's just to kind of distribute the weight across the page so that when you're looking at it, even though there's really nothing up at the top here for you to look at, I want to draw your attention away from this big, expansive green paper. So I decided that that is where my puffy stickers are going to go. So I just put that one label shaped journaling block, and then I'm going to place the puffy stickers on top of that. And then of course I need to add some flowers up there as well, because you know, flowers need to go all over the page. Plus I still have an excessive amount of these paper flowers, and I am trying to work through them. Probably won't ever buy flowers like this in bulk again. It's been at least 10 years since I got most of them. There was just so many flowers, and this was even on like a flower share. Like we did a big group buy and divided up the flowers, and holy moly, I've still got flowers coming out the wazoo. So I went ahead and grabbed these enamel dots, and these are from Close to My Heart, and my original plan was to have the correct amount of dots for the size flower that I had, and it doesn't work out exactly perfectly, so I do have to kind of mix up the dots and bring in another color, and I'm just trying to situate them so that they look good together. So I do have like the yellowies and the orangey colors going on, so I felt okay bringing those enamel dots in. And then I realized that I have a straight line of green flowers with these purple dots in them, so I wanted to change that up a little bit so that it didn't look like, it didn't look like it was just a line of flowers with purple dots. I just didn't want that there. Because, sometimes you get some things in your head and you either really want something to happen or you really don't want something to happen. I decided to put a little bit of journaling up here about the date that I hit 27,000 miles on my car. In case you're wondering why in the world are you scrapbooking a photograph of your odometer, I just have a thing for milestone numbers. I don't know how to explain why I have a thing for milestone numbers, but they make me happy. So if I'm ever in my car and I see one, I snap a photo of it and normally scrapbook it. So this one is 27K, which is what my title is going to be. I just pulled out these old orange stickers, and then that is going to do it for the layout, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I do hope that you will play along. So the sketches over the next 10 days, the final 10 100 sketchy videos will all be sketches that I have come up with. So make sure you join the scrapbooking Facebook group, Scrapping Reflections, and I will see you guys again real soon for another video.